Hi everyone, my name is Kim. I am a freelance tabletop roleplay game writer and developer, and I've currently worked on about 30 books this year, or 30 books in the past 5 years. I worked on They Came From Classified, They Came From the Cyclops' Cave, Forgotten and Forbidden Orders for Mage the Ascension 20th Anniversary Edition, Trinity Continuum Aegis. I've worked on three Trinity Continuum Aberrant books, Trinity Continuum Aether, Curseborne World Below, At the Gates, as well as Monster Kingdoms. So I've also worked on Realmwalker and Cult, Divinity Lost. So I have a pretty wide variety of projects that I've worked on for Onyx Path and some other companies. So what I'm doing right now is I'm preparing for Kaijucon next month in Nagoya, Japan. So this is the first time in a while that I've done a convention game, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I was thinking of like cool ways that I could engage with a convention audience in a way that I can normally engage with them over like VTT or Discord or anything like that. And so they had a GM sign up, and I pitched a game called I pitched a scenario called like Scattered Leaves, in which your sister's gone missing, and last thing you checked, she was investigating this site called painful.love. Now, when you looked into what the site's about, you know that a lot of people have gone missing or turned up dead. So people are dying to find out what's going on with this website. And now you have to try to find your sister and bring her home. So it's going to be an interesting scenario. I explained in my Tumblr blog why I worded it like that. Why I chose a little sister. I find that for convention games, because you don't really know the group of people that you're going to be gaming with, you need to give them a clear goal that they can accomplish within a time frame. And usually there are several ways that you can frame like a time critical mission. With a missing person, the longer it takes you to find them, the less likely they're going to come back to you alive, statistically. So usually saying, hey, this person's missing, and you have a personal investment in getting them back, usually helps focus the group. I've done this with my Aberrant convention game, where the elites, the mercenaries, superhero mercenaries, were hired to find out what happened to this formerly terminally ill young woman who just suddenly disappeared from her dorm room after she erupted. And she was someone that was with a terminal illness who had just finished all of her chemo treatments. So she'd been missing for 24 hours, and she didn't have her medicine. And if the window got bigger, she wasn't going to make it. So that sort of timer ticking down, where it's like every minute you waste is like another minute that person's not going to come back alive to their family, is something that I find is a pretty good buy-in with people at the table to motivate them. It's like, oh shoot, most people can sympathize with that sort of scenario where you have a person that's terminally ill, their family wants to bring them back, and if that person is a younger sibling or a younger person, it's like, oh no, it's like, what if that was my daughter? What if that was my son? What if that was my brother? My brother, my sister. What if I knew that person? Maybe, you have that sort of personal built-in bias usually. It's like, oh shoot, this small person or this person that is you feel defenseless or protective over is in danger, so you need to get them out of danger or find out what happened to them. Because if nothing else, people want closure, even if the outcome isn't what they want. So that's why I used a Little Sister convention game. Never gamed with these people before, and it's very likely that they've never heard of Curseborne before, which is fair because we just kickstarted it this year. I've lost track of time, and it's in pre-release, so only the backers have the manuscripts. Now, I have an advantage over most people because not only did I work on the core book when I only had like very small slivers of information to work from because of excessive NDA, I've also worked recently on the jumpstart for Curseborne, the Wolf You Feed, and I also worked on the Curseborne anthology. So I have a copy of the complete, most current version, post-development approved manuscript to work from. So I have that to build from it, and I also have the experience of having to do the jumpstart, which includes a chapter where I condense all of Storypath Ultra and Curseborne rules into one chapter. And I've also built ready-made character. I updated the Ashcan ready-made characters. So I'm already ahead of the game. I have some of the materials available. So for in-person games, what I like to do is I like to incorporate physical props, a way to give more immersion to the players and something to interact with. And because I'm using my favorite cursed website, because I created that and added that as an adversary, at least the original version of it. And I also coded the painful.love real website, which is ongoing. There's always stuff that's going to pop up there. But I thought this would be a cool time to do what I like to do, or what I've been talking about doing with doing game development, like actual game development with coding and modeling and scripting. So because we're talking about a person that's gone missing investigating a website, I figured what better source of information that players usually want to go dig through is someone's laptop. They went missing. This is the site. How many times did they visit the site? What else are they looking for? How can we find that person? So it's like, well, if we have her laptop, then it can help out. So I was like, cool, a laptop. I don't want to use one of my actual laptops because I don't want people digging through my stuff, especially since I have a lot of NDA material on mine. So what I did is I went on to Amazon Japan, because I live in Japan, and shipping is monstrous out, with laptops, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I have about like 3 weeks before before I have to run this. So I went on Amazon Japan, and I started looking for cheap laptops. So I looked for anything that was under 10,000 yen, and I found one, and it's like, cool, it's under 10,000 yen, the exchange rate's in my favor, and then I had like a whole bunch of points because I use Amazon Japan a lot to buy dog food and iced tea. So cool, I used my coupon, and then I brought it down to 5,000 yen, which is about $30 or so. So I now have a refurbished laptop with nothing on it that's completely clean, except whatever the default build is to build my clues into. And so, of course, first thing you have to do when you get a new laptop is you have to set it up. So I had to change all the language. So this is a Japanese laptop, so it's a Fujitsu, with a Japanese English keyboard. So I had to change all the language settings over to English, and then run all my updates, uninstall stuff I didn't need, and then I had to figure out what sort of things I want to put on this thing for players to interact with that'll give them pertinent clues to find this missing person. So that's another thing I have to consider. I have to consider whatever is on this laptop is something that the players are going to be able to interact with, and it's going to give them a clue. Usually when you write a scenario, especially for very particular developers that I've worked with consistently. Usually at least every paragraph, you want to have something that the players or the story guide can use to run the game. So for this, I'm probably looking, when we're trying to investigate a cybercrime or any sort of crime where there might be a computer as a piece of evidence, what you normally look for are like their search history, if they have location data turned on there, if their social media, if someone lives online, they might post pictures of where they've been. Most people have their laptop automatically set to log into all of their social media, all of their email, all of their Discords. So you can go in, if you get their laptop, once you get the code to unlock it, you can go in and see everything and everyone they've been looking at and who they've been talking to. Most people don't typically go in and constantly erase their browser history. They don't go and clean up their files. Their recycle bin might have like a million, however many gigs of data that they just haven't bothered to delete. So these are things I'm thinking about, like, what sort of things would be normal for a character of this age to have on her laptop that she's interested in, that would also benefit the players in investigating. Because with a convention game, you only have 3 hours. That's it. That's the only time you have to introduce the world, introduce the rules, get their buy-in, and then accomplish whatever goals you have to set. So it's always important for a game like that, when you only have those 3 hours, you limit the scope of the goals. You want to give them options of how they want to approach things, but you want to give them obtainable goals within that time frame. Now, when I ran my Aberrant game, I used a physical book cipher with actual books and physical clues. And to help expedite the process, I gave them the option. It's like, hey, if you want to brain this out, use your phones and stuff, because you have them to actually solve the puzzle legit. You can. If you get stuck and you would like to roll dice, when on success, however many successes, I will give you clues, and that's how we do investigations anyway. Whenever you get so many, you succeed on an investigation roll, you get leads, and in this way, I would be they have a physical puzzle they're interacting with, and I'd be giving them those leads to help them deal with the physical solving of the problem, the riddle, or whatever. So I have to think about all those pieces of information so people can interact with it they're comfortable with. Because if they were like, oh man, I don't want to deal with any of that actual physical stuff, I just want to roll, cool, I have that option. But this sort of thing helps build immersion. And I really like enjoying it. So the laptop is just one of the props I'm bringing. I guess spoilers if you are going to be playing my Kaijucon game. But I also had the idea that, this person's gone missing. Their laptop has gone missing. Their phone's missing. Their backpack with their stuff is also missing. So, escalating stakes. Other clues that might be cool. What about a thumb drive hidden inside of something with more information, like a location or something like that? Because investigating this website, there are several different options of what could have happened to the sister. The worst case scenarios of anybody that goes missing involving the internet. Were they abducted? Did they run away? Or are they running from someone? So depending on how you interpret the clues, you can figure out what's going on. It's like, oh, certain things give a sort of a vibe for the tone of what's happening. So if you find your little sister's shoe by her laptop in an abandoned building, what does that tell you? How does that make you viscerally feel in that sort of scenario? And it's like, it's not a pleasant feeling, but it's like, oh fuck, I need to keep going. I need to hurry up. So those sorts of things. help raise the stakes and the tension without doing anything really crazy. So what I did today, besides setting up this laptop and building an email, building a Reddit account, and then installing Google Chrome on this thing, is and cleaning up the desktop, is I went to Watman, which is a Japanese secondhand store. So it's like a Goodwill or Salvation Army. And I was looking for stuff to use as additional props for this. Let me pull it. So it's like, okay, what sort of things could I haven't really decided on it, but like, it's a secondhand store. This is all pretty cheap stuff. It's used. So like, I grabbed a pair of shoes. I grabbed an outfit because I just have to figure out what level of chaos I'm going to go to, because I can always recruit, ask friends, friends of friends, if they know anyone that would fit these clothes, and then take some pictures and then distort the shit out of them on on my phone, and have it as like, oh, this is the outfit that she was wearing when she went missing. And cool. Well, if I want to take that a step further, what if these clothes are covered in what looks like mud or blood, destroyed, and you found them shoved somewhere, hidden? It sends a different message. It's not a good message, but it's like, it's a clue. It's like, what can you find? Finding this will give a different sort of reaction than me just telling you. If I tell you that you find your, like, in a bundle of trash, you find your sister's clothes torn, blood-stained, but she's not here. There's nothing else here. It's a dirty room. How are you feeling right now? It's a different sort of like gut punch for immersion. So it's like really, really grim there, but that's the scenario I'm writing. And then I got like a little pouch. It's like I was debating whether or not shoving this into the backpack just to give an like cheap dollar store cosmetics or Daiso cosmetics in here to show that like her age, because I don't directly address how old this character is. I say little sister. It could be, how old does she need to be? I think with the email account I made her 16, because it's like, okay, she's not quite an adult, but she's still a teenager. Like, I have this little creature which I'm probably going to tear open and hide a USB inside of him. But then I also scavenged some stuff from my closet, my stuff. So I have a bunch of extra backpacks from Chief Season. And I also have all of these. This is a Japanese VTuber, that artist. And before I left on deployment, we did a lot of her drawings for the For You lottery prize pulls. So I have a lot of these. These are my extra buttons from that, as well as this. And the thing in decorating it so it looks less like boring black backpack, and like someone uses this and gives it the feeling that someone's used this. This is their carry bag sort of thing. I'm going to stuff the laptop in here. And in it, I'll probably put other clues or other things that could be red herrings for what the password to get into the laptop's going to be. And having this sort of thing on here also emphasizes that this person that's missing is really into online personalities and that sort of those sorts of interactions versus like personal interactions, maybe. So it's like, oh, cool, she likes the the singing, drawing, lowly character. So that's just some of the material I'm going to be putting together. I also have like cat post-it notes, which I'll probably like stick inside of this. I'll probably make a notebook or a journal talking about some stuff. I still got to generate a search history for this. So it's a lot of tools. I'm still built, and I just looking at what I have and thinking about how it would help tell the story, how it would help with the immersion, and help move the story forward. The investigation part is probably going to take about the first hour of the 3 hours that we have to play the game. So at the second 2-hour mark, we should be getting into finding locations, or, the middle part, and keep going. I could probably shorten it if I want to do like 5-act sort of thing, but usually 3-act structures are pretty good for a convention game, because it's like, okay, we're in the middle point, we're almost there, because again, everything's condensed. If it was a campaign, you could stretch that out longer. This would be really harrowing, I think, as a longer campaign, if you were going to do a longer term investigation into Painful.love. But I'll probably also do some more coding on Painful.love to help facilitate this craziness that I'm doing. But yeah, so those are just some of my thoughts in what I'm building and how I'm getting there. So this is blog number 2. So stay tuned as we get closer to Kaijucon. We'll see how it goes. I have a bunch of other deadlines coming up too, for the paid work I'm doing. I really love doing stuff like this because it allows me to be creative in a larger way than just doing regular writing. I've been writing a lot of scenarios recently, so it really helps. It's like, oh shit, here's a new idea, here's something else we can do. And I've been wanting to do something with Painful.love as a guide, and I had started doing it for all the puzzles I put into it. As far as I can tell, I haven't seen anyone come out and say that they found all of the clues and all of the messages I hidden in the website. So if you haven't checked out Painful.love, check it out. But I guess I'm coming up on like 20 minutes. So if you've been stuck it out for this long, thank you so much. I'm hoping to get back into doing this some more now that we're back from deployment. I'm super busy, but I love doing it. I'm happy to do it. I feel very blessed to keep working with the great teams that I've been working on. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, KimGodwin18. I am on Twitch as Studio H&H. I'm also on Tumblr as Studio H&H, where I'm doing the main blogs of these, the written blogs of these. And of course, my website, KimberlyGodwin.com and StudioH&H.com. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you at the next one. Bye.